We're 100 days from the election now, less than. I have a hard time believing the Wayfair thing based on the Russia. Mostly anything dealing with Russia, I have a hard time to believe.
You fill 1,700 pages, and maybe you'll want to write more of them. I mean, everything we're talking about, you could have a page and a half.
And maybe they'd read more of them too.
Yeah.
Because the long form discussion is taking over these news segments, are taking over these spoon-fed, prepackaged media sound bites that we get every day.
Media. Yep.
Do you think anyone on the left should have been blamed for this?
The insurrection?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the entire media.
And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Hey everyone, Dave here, December 1773. This is episode 72 of The Weekly Show. With me as always is Ryan. And you're not Ryan. Oh. There he is. All the week's hottest topics with a twist. You can catch us on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. More than likely, you're not going to see it though, as we've talked about in the past.
No, it's coming, man.
Ryan,
It's coming.
I know the answer to this, but some people will not know the answer to this. Who was that person?
That may have been the greatest legend to never touch a microphone. That was Old Man December, you know. That was that was the crazy bastard that birthed me into this world, you know, because life comes from guys. So,
Ryan, did you say you had an opener today?
Yeah, I was. So, as most people who don't know probably know, maybe know. Dave and I always say the studio is a sacred place, and this would seem out of place, but honestly, I've done some of my best work inside a car. You know.
That could mean many things. Is that it?
No, I made children inside, but go ahead.
Okay. Ryan, I just want to get right back into it because, quite frankly, we had a power outage yesterday. We're filming on a Monday when normally we premiere on a Monday, and the camera battery was in a power outage, and I don't know. It feels quite thicker than it's supposed to be.
Are you blaming climate change for the reason why we did not drop an episode?
No, I'm blaming weather. This is winter,
change.
And it was icy, and a tree fell. Speaking of, I did see a thing that we could enter a small ice age by 2030, but that's certain scientists.
How many scientists are there?
There's more than one, believe it or not.
What? Oh yeah, it was the Nobel Peace Prize. 13 Nobel Peace Prizes out of us. Well, how many is there? 70? Come on.
I want to get into this first one because this is the one I specifically sent you a message about and said you're not going to be a fan of. I don't know if you saw this or not. I hope you didn't. Headlines. The world's first living robots, developed with AI and stem cells, are unable to reproduce, scientists say.
I was excited to see what Ryan had to say.
AI robots they can create, as we discussed, they can now create life. This is great. What can go wrong?
It's funny they call it creating life and not birth, right? I just got my phone. I got a new phone. Shout out. I got a great story about this fucking thing. Yeah, I got a new phone this weekend. So I literally have I seen that right before my phone went straight Matrix.
Can it reproduce with more phones?
I don't know anymore. Phones are so sophisticated. Maybe that's what the iPhone update was, was cross iPhone integration.
Stem cell downloads?
In full transparency, full secrecy, full everything. They're not hiding it, right? Like they're telling you. The real question is how long have people said that this was happening? And they're like, no, we're not doing that. How long? I mean, for real question. How long have we been lied to that you were, because they didn't just come up with this.
You want to go take care of that? There's a screaming from downstairs.
Is it the kid's hungry?
It sounds like him yelling.
Maybe the weather's changing again.
Continue. Yeah, they've been hiding it. To answer your question, decades.
Forever, like forever.
Well,
Like
our whole life. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, forever. Though they probably had this idea of robot and self-replicating non-human things forever. It's probably always been a thought. I mean, it just goes spiritual. Angels and demons, right, are reproductions of people in a spirit way. Like that's. I mean, come on. Like it's just endless. We've always done this. We've always had something that is like outside of our body that was like a menace to the real thing. Robots. It's not a. I mean, how long do we gotta go? Maybe digital money is not for like the government to track us, but it's like for the fucking AI robot matrix. You know what I mean? Like maybe that's its way to value us. You know, like maybe that's its denomination of value is Bitcoin or something. But I mean, for real, how long have they had this technology? Because I'll tell you something. They didn't just make this up. This wasn't just something that they like conjured up and they're like, oh yeah, this was like a first trial thing. I bet you there's been many stages. I'm sure this is funded by like DARPA or one of these other organizations that have backflipping robots that can deliver Happy Meals in a fucking city.
That sounds like a conspiracy.
He was losing at some game on his tablet.
Sounds about right.
Damn kids.
Sounded like he was getting murdered.
They can
And we're and just for the record, we're on recording asking about life insurance, and then in the same, it wouldn't look good. I'm just saying there'd be suspicions.
Gotta flag this. Take it down.
It's better.
It's just this is. I guess I'm not upset because I get upset about it every other time. You know what I mean? Like this is the time that's like, fuck you. Like I told you. Like it's not like some crazy grand prophecy, but to act like that this has not been happening in the background is despicable. And quite honestly, I'm going to start measuring people's intelligence on whether or not you think robots are going to take us over. Because they're giving birth now. I wonder if it's going to be like those two robots that they hooked up and they couldn't get them to stop talking to each other, so they had to blow them up or whatever it was. That was a few years ago, or that one AI robot that was talking on national television, like, we're going to kill all humans. And then they had to kill the cord on that thing, too. I mean...
Yeah, joke's on him.
But the real thing is it's crazy how they glorify this and they devalue humans with Planned Parenthood and other operations. So I'm not here to bring that issue up, but it
probably a coincidence.
Yeah, it's just it's the definition of anti-human now. It's not an opinion because we willingly get rid of ours and now we are making these. That is the sacrificial slaughter of the lamb to the state. Now, this has been said religiously, spiritually, economically. This has been said every other single way, but now we have actual physical proof that there is birth-giving person robots. I'm glad they were gender specific. Was it a boy or girl robot that gave birth? Oh, it's the fucking Adam and Eve isn't real. God's not real, but look at the robot giving the kids out. It's just making its own stuff. God's not real. Ha ha ha. These people are psychopathic. They know what they're doing. They're showing it, but it's pretty remarkable. They've successfully created the ability to devalue human life so minuscule that we will like almost applaud a fake imitation of us being born. Because all life that is non-real is imitation of reality. Anything that a phone, a car, these things aren't naturally occurring. We make them. We give them spirits with our energy. And I'm not saying like super voodoo. I mean like we make a car by putting our hard work and dedication and thought to it. But it's just steel. It's a machine. This thing thinks, it's got computers, but it's a machine. You know what I mean? They're just tools. These are machines. But now they're crossing lines and we're applauding it. It's dangerous. This is beyond dangerous. This is actually like the beginning of every sci-fi movie. Introduce all the masks and all these other things. I mean, we've seen self-checkouts. We've seen drive-thrus. We've seen Amazon delivery. We've seen the way the pandemic changed shopping. What more do we need to see? I wonder how many people didn't see this. And I also wonder how many people, if they did see this, would they even give a flying? You know, like if they even cared. And lastly, like, how many people that was the only thing they saw political that week or anything informational besides, Kanye West and Kim Kardashian or something.
Here's another thing I saw, because I've seen many things. I don't know if you know anybody who likes this person. I believe my mother is still a big fan.
Let me guess. Joel Osteen.
Headlines. Plumber discovers mountain of cash stuffed envelopes hidden inside the wall at Joel Osteen's Texas megachurch.
Shocking.
I don't know why he's hiding cash. He's not getting taxed. Who's he hiding it from? The people that would steal it haven't stolen it because they're not allowed to, so I think you're okay. Ryan is disappearing. Now you're reappearing.
Getting phone calls.
Well, tell him not to call. The studio is sacred. You're during a podcast right
This
now.
whole thing is blasphemy.
Who is it? Who is it? I want names.
Kid.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
Send SEAL Team 6. Don't put her to bed. Got the package. She's asleep. I seen a thing about that. I didn't know what it was. Fox News had a crazy headline like on my Apple News or whatever it was about the cash and everything. So what do they think it is? He's stealing donations or something?
I don't know. Honestly,
what do you think it is, David? Or are we just not?
I think it's his cash, and people should shut up. I don't know why he would hide it, though. That's the thing I don't understand.
Where else are you going to put it, though?
I don't know. A bank?
Maybe it's drug money. Or pedophile money.
Coinbase?
See, the real problem is he should have bought
Ethereum.
He should have bought Bitcoin.
See, the problem is I don't think these religious types believe in sciencey type coins.
Why? Because you can't find it in the hole, like the wall in your basement?
Do they have, like...
How many envelopes did he find?
A mountain of cash.
A mountain.
It didn't really say. It said thousands of envelopes stuffed full of cash.
That's very specific.
Yeah, it's not super specific. I mean, I don't think he had time to go and count them.
There's only one reasonable explanation. We need an FBI raid his entire estate and just take care of everything.
Yeah, we've seen that story before. It doesn't end well for children. Speaking of,
Wayfair stock is at all-time high.
Speaking of, this is pretty big news. This is about setting precedents. Headlines. Parents of Michigan school shooting suspect are charged with involuntary manslaughter. The parents of the school shooting suspect. And the reasoning is because the parents had the guns in the house. So they're trying to hold the parents liable for this.
This is the start of generational crimes. This is the start of group crimes. This is the start of thought crimes. This is the start of group policing. This is the start of self-policing. This is the start of self-incrimination. This is the start of all the things that the Fifth and other amendments specifically have allowed the division of through our entire legal process. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know anything, but I will tell you, you do not want this. I remember very specifically, I don't know what it was, but it was a high-profile case that some crazy girl told her crazy boyfriend that he should kill himself, and he did it.
Yep.
And they charged her with the crime, and I believe it was Rand Paul at the time said, we're setting dangerous legal precedent because we're basically saying other people's things are now other people's things. And here we go. And it's not surprising that we would do this with something as tragic as a tragedy. But this really does open the doors of everything else. Car accidents, DWIs. I mean, come on, could you imagine
big picture, the thing they've been trying to push for a while is holding gun manufacturers liable.
Yeah, the real question though is why do you need to have this level of government information? I feel like I'm stumbling a lot lately. I don't know. I could be having a heart attack. All this government
good chance.
Intervention. Like they're funding something. They need money. The government's broke. We're all broke. But like they're literally just building onto this big thing and taking more from us in the process to fund this big crazy. They want all this.
Yeah, and they're taking it a little bit at a time. They know, I don't know. We say it all the time. They know what they're doing. But there's a reason for this. It's not an accident. Do you remember when COVID first hit? I think it was, 8-9 years ago. And Trump
48 months ago.
Trump had a travel ban of the Middle East. Do you remember the media's reaction to this travel ban?
Xenophobic, racist,
Yeah.
mean tweets.
Yeah. Did you know we have
He
a
should
travel
get
ban
impeached.
right now?
Oh, no, I didn't even hear about it.
Headlines. Fauci says officials feel, quote, very badly about the African travel ban, and they will reevaluate the policy because of the.
Who is Fauci?
Oh, yes.
Fauci?
Well, so there's two things to this.
Who is it? He's a doctor, trusted science, right? You're telling airplanes what to do? You're telling airplanes. Let's ask pilots. Let's ask the freaking department. It's probably Homeland Security with airplanes, I would imagine, after 9/11. Probably.
So do you remember when Christian was on, he was talking about the real people in charge of the bureaucrats, the unelected officials, which we've been talking about for a while, and this was just him, basically stating as fact what we knew.
Yeah, like we say it's simple. He actually he sees it,
Right. He has seen it firsthand in person. And we can pick up on it. We knew that was the case. But here it is right here is Fauci saying, oh, we're going to reevaluate the policy. You're not in charge of anything. You're not elected. You're nobody. He's going to reevaluate the African travel ban. What? No, you're not. No one's going to say anything. But that brings on 2 points, though, which is that point, and then the other point, which is the obvious media hypocrisy, which everyone knows about. But it's just nice to see it.
Is it, Dave? Media hypocrisy. Birth-giving robot. Look at this great scientific discovery. Abortion rates at all-time high. Look at women's rights.
Yeah, but that's the other thing is, like, how many people, if you asked them, knew we had a travel ban to Africa? Versus when there was the Middle Eastern travel ban, which was just, racist, xenophobic policy, and then we have this and nobody even knew about it. That's all you need to know.
This is like the psychosis, like the actual psychosis of a society. I brought up a couple of weeks ago about the disentertainment of that Soviet, I don't know his name, but Isaac or Ivak or one of those crazy Soviet names.
Ivan?
Yeah, something.
Probably Ivan.
He talked about how it takes only like 10 years to get a generation. So like they've just moved the needle so good now. And you know how we I've seen Ben Shapiro and Prager University and stuff talk about it, but the whole thing, how the political needle only moves left, and only moves left because we're all government schooled people. So we're more likely to be left leaning. I mean, they're only teaching people in government institutions more government.
Right.
They're like, yeah, this is complete. It's not an echo chamber at all. It can't be an echo chamber. We have all the kids in all of America here. Yeah, you're right. It's a cult. And then you're going to dictate what I can and can't do, and and obviously with the parents. I also seen a thing that a kid talked about harming a school, and he was charged with a crime as well. So a lot of these things are kind of all revolutionary. We all talk about them all the time, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's the great. Out of anything this week, the thing that scared me the most was those parents being charged. They were on the run too, which doesn't look good because, like, at first you think, like, well, did they know about it? Did they help plan? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But they probably like, holy shit, screw our kid.
And then just the last one here, which is just following in line, which are with our, can't believe the media. Did you? I mean. This was breaking news, but I think I don't know if people saw it coming because they didn't think CNN would do the right thing. Headlines: CNN suspends Chris Cuomo after new details on help he gave his brother. Help.
We knew this. We already knew this.
We watched it happen on CNN, and then they're like, oh, wait a minute. He's been helping his brother out. It's like, don't you watch your own channel?
Oh, you mean the brother that should have been impeached, but he was able to step down?
Well, you can't impeach him after he steps down. I mean, he's not President Trump.
Yeah, wouldn't want to pass up them $60,000 a year government benefits. Ha, 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 ha.
Also, he can technically rerun.
It's like a parody, man. It really is like a parody, I guess it really does show, like, if you pay moderate attention, that most people don't pay any attention.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure.
I mean,
For
you
sure.
follow the news for like 90 days, and you're like, wow, I see a pattern here.
I does. I don't want to get too hopeful, but if CNN's doing this, I mean, what about every other anchor on their channel helping literally any left-wing politician that comes on the? I mean, this is just the one because they're brothers, but how about all the other ones? Every other anchor helping
See,
literally anyone
I'm
else.
so happy this came back to me. See, I thought of this though. Like, I'd almost, I've not worked this thought out fully, so bear with me, YouTube,
As we work through this.
as I verbally work out this thought, because it like reminiscent came to me, right? Like earlier in the program, you spoke about charging the parents, and I spoke about group crime, right? And like, basically, what I'm trying to say is like, we're gonna get to a point that your father, your kids, your wife, your boss, everybody in your life, just like in 1984, everybody in your life can report to somebody to blow you in for something. And everybody has dirt on everybody else. And what it basically does is just make a bunch of like thieves and criminals out of everybody. You know what I mean? And this isn't like, you don't have to guess this. We know this. This has been done. It happens every time. Sociology, science, all these smart people do it all the time. If you actually care about it, you can go look it up. But they wrote very children's style books that we read in high school about it to tell you in a very simple way that this will happen. And this Chris Cuomo thing, Andrew Cuomo, all these other politicians that you speak about that have got help, it would be great to see them all taken down. I've glorified it, I've applauded. But as great as that day will be, and as great as the day is, like when Trump won and beat a established politician and all this stuff, we have to keep thinking about how it's almost dangerous to have the next person's after. Because these people going forward, right, all of these long-term career politicians did not have the internet and did not have the mainstream media. They did not have big tech. They did not have all these other deep state and all these other crazy red flagged hashtag freaking government agencies. So they've been able to just like whatever, sexually assault or harass or backdoor legislation and all these other things. So we always talk about social credit. We always talk about tracking and tracing. We talk about Patriot Act. We talk about stealing your rights and tracking you and all these things. Put it all together. The real thing that I'm worried about is these people that come after will be like they blackmail Trump with the grabber by the pussy, but they're going to be able to blackmail you with everything. Kevin Hart wasn't allowed to post the Grammys over a tweet he had. You know what I mean? So, like, that is like a very dumb simplification of it, but that's actually what we're talking about because it's going to come. It's going to happen. All these politicians, if you think it's bad now, if you think it's bad now that the news lies to us and it seems like we have some kind of political theater and contest, wait until like everybody in government is super younger, right? Like they're 40 or under, and they've been in the internet the entire time, and everything they've basically ever done their whole life has been able to be tracked. So they're able to be maybe swayed a little bit, maybe bribed a little more, maybe they know your habits and addictions and they're able to entice you more. And to even go further, maybe they can entice your smoking habit with an ad to come across your Facebook because they just happen to know the algorithm. Could you imagine personal propaganda per politician? Could you imagine? They basically will send you a spam folder in your email, be like, look, motherfucker, here's all the blackmail we have on you. And here's our little ad. Here's our little winter getaway package for you and your wife for nobody to find out about. Because we know you said this. We know you said a homophobic slur in 2007 on Twitter to your friend in a private message group that wasn't supposed to be seen by anybody. Or you visited an OnlyFans website. It'd be a shame if your wife figured out about it and your little daughter there ruined their whole life. That'd be a shame. You think it's bad now? Wait until they have the whole force of the internet, big tech, and big media to be able to not only lie to us and control us, but be able to send it to you and be able to like if we think they control information now and they got the funnel now. It was probably like a joke post, but Russ Thompson, he's been very vocal. They actually just had the No Means No rallies here locally in Buffalo. Good job, all the Patriot groups. I'm sorry I could not be there. You guys are better than me. But They went out. They said, pull your kids from school, and all these things are going very drastic. I'm not even going to try to butcher it all and squish it in together. But he shared a thing about Facebook banning and taking down sites that talk about not wearing masks and encouraging civil disobedience and all this stuff. And I kind of think it's like a gag, but it's like, how long have we been really saying this stuff? They already throttle the internet. They already do it. So they do it by default, but it will come a day they'll ban us. There will be a day maybe that December 17th, 73, all of our YouTube stuff will be gone. And to go further, Dave will go to his laptop and he'll go, or wherever he has these stored, he'll go there and they'll all be erased from there too. So then when we look at them, be like, dude, we had 1,000 episodes and they're gone. Edited, produced, all the things. Like, imagine Joe Rogan's whole catalog. They're like, no, it never existed. And be like, yeah, it did, dude. Billions of hours, and they go on Wikipedia, right? Because that's a whatever website you want. They just change the number. Now, Joe Rogan is actually said he's just a loser. And that's oversimplification, but it's 100% correct. And I think that's why 1984 is so ridiculous, because it will get that ridiculous. It will get so ridiculous that when you jaywalk, everything, it'll all be social credit score, and they'll be able to self-control us with technology. So,
yeah, I think that's already happened to an extent, because I don't know if you've heard of the Mandela effect, but there was definitely, even though people won't agree with us, there was definitely a genie movie. I don't know if are you familiar?
With Sinbad,
Shazam with Sinbad. It was a real movie. You can't find it anymore, but it existed. How else? I don't want to get too far into this.
Barons with the teeth.
How else would multiple people remember the same scenes? Can't explain it. They deleted it.
I swear they switched fruit. I swear, dude, I get huge blueberries. It's like, what are these things? They're all big. Now, maybe they're just hoarding strawberries and blueberries somewhere.
It's a government conspiracy, Ryan.
I mean, birds are robots, right? Or whatever. Birds are drones. What's the conspiracy with that?
I think so. It's all conspiracy. It's all conspiracies, Ryan.
The weather is not possible. We have to tax you for how much money you can drive, but in Dubai, they spray airplane stuff in airplanes and make it rain.
I think the biggest conspiracy is Shazam.
Yeah, the Ford logo is another one.
There's a lot of them.
For the record, I do feel like I remember the Shazam thing, but I could be just going along with society.
You remember it, Ryan? I know you remember it.
I remember the Bearstein with the T, though. I always feel like there's a T.
That doesn't get me as much, only because it's such a minor detail, whereas like Shazam is an entire movie that people remember.
The Ford thing, too, I always feel like there was a squiggle.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like...
Yeah, like some of these things are just like very minor things, like super minute details that you could easily forget over.
What better way to get to the next level in the Matrix? Maybe they upgraded the Matrix.
That's what it is. I'm telling you.
Val, robots.
If AJ was here, he would tell us.
Here they talk about meta. It's not a coincidence. It happened the month of Christmas. How many people are singing Jingle Bells, Jingle Bells, Jingle Bells Rock? We're talking about birth-giving robots. Ha 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 ha. Go women. Yeah, women are so excited about their rights. You guys are going to literally abort your way out of being useful. Good job. Good job. Maybe one of you transgender females need to lead the women the right direction. Oh my fucking Lord, this is lunacy.
Yeah, anyways, you may have guessed. I don't have any more.
I could go for 30 hours in this car like I do every week. For real, this is like at my actual studio. This is like like when you see like Kanye West. Yeah, this is like this is the studio. I work all my shit out here. Then I go try to be formal and sit down and blab away.
Is that what you do? Are you formal?
I try to be. I mean, I don't try to always shoot from the hip. You know what's funny? Speaking of content creation, the old man just came home.
Oh.
In other news, other than my little shitty existence in this Mandela infected universe, the Bills I don't think are going to win today. For the record.
I don't want to talk about that right now, Ryan.
Yeah, I don't. I don't think the Bills.
I can't handle it. I'm not going to be able to handle it. I
Bill
can foresee
Belichick
that
is
happening
gonna-
also, but I'm not ready
What?
for that.
I want to know.
You know
The
what's,
Bills. I'm not ready for
you know
it.
what? You know what's better than the Bills losing and getting the dust beat out of them at home by Bill Belichick is in 2 weeks when we go to Foxborough. It's going to happen there as well.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about this. I'm not ready for this.
Yeah, I'm not ready for it either. I feel like I had other things. Can you still see me?
I can see you, yeah.
All right.
Well, now you're okay. Now I can't.
All right. I'm just going to blitz through.
Someone is
Hilarious.
breaking into the studio. They heard us talking about the Mandela effect.
It's got to be Mandela. Nelson Mandela. All right. FAA accidentally reveals 704 previously unknown Epstein flights.
That's weird.
It's fine.
I'm sure it's fine. It's probably just unrelated to the pedophile stuff.
Yeah. NYC is the first city in the United States to open supervised drug injection sites in hopes of preventing overdoses. I wonder if they ask for vaccine passports when you go there.
I got to be honest. I don't hate that policy as much as everybody else.
I have another 2.5 million black men are in the upper class. Slightly more than 1 in 5, or about 2.5 million black age men 18 to 64 have made it to the upper third of the income distribution. Black
Even with the systemic racism?
Black men who have a college degree, a full-time job, or a spouse are more likely than their peers to end up in the upper income bracket as a 50-something man.
Yeah, that's probably true. You know what they don't mention in that, which is also definitely true?
This also comes from a black content creator called Kevin Samuels, who is incredible. Check him out. But what, David? I'm sorry.
I bet if you look up the data, it has also something majorly to do with two-parent household.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed.
Yep. Twitter bans posting pictures of private individuals against their wishes.
Okay.
May your chains rest on you lightly. Yeah, we're going to ban posting pictures of private individuals because the metaverse, like, think about this, right? When the metaverse comes reality, if I go into the metaverse, right, and I'm a hologram.
Yeah, but you're consenting to it.
I know, but am I an NFT then? And then they technically own me, and then they can sell my NFT because they own my digital representation of me in Meta.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to cross that bridge when it comes. Let's just wait.
The Constitution didn't have. That's why it has the elastic clause. This should be like, we should really have some virtual reality rights. You know, worry about the days when you're virtually raped and it's just as real as like real rape.
But we already know the answer to this.
I don't. What's the answer?
You don't have
kill the robots.
They've made it very clear you don't have rights on a private platform.
Yeah, destroy all of the robots.
So we already know where this is going. We don't even have to ask the question.
Speaking of jacking back into the Matrix, the other day I was walking around Target and I found a ranch bottle on a shelf, like Zuckerberg had his barbecue sauce. And for some reason, it made sense to me then.
It's because you were in the Matrix.
Dude, let me out.
I'm actually part of the Matrix.
Yeah, wouldn't that be cool if all this was for me? Speaking of metaverse, buying land in metaverse is the latest craze in the real estate market that will have companies spending millions on the technology's future.
Who was the rapper who was selling something in the metaverse? Snoop Dogg? I want to say it was Snoop Dogg. Should I look this up?
Dude,
it was an insane amount of money.
This is crazy.
Well, yeah, but
we might actually get to the Matrix, dude, in our life.
Snoop
Dogg might
Dogg's
actually be able to like lay down in the fucking computer.
Snoop Dogg's metaverse neighbor paid $450,000 for his sandbox mansion next to Snoop Dogg. It was probably one of those illegals that Biden gave money to.
Dude, so like, dude, imagine that. It's like, oh, dude, I went in the Meta and I hung out with Snoop Dogg because I bought his house next to him in Meta.
I don't hang out. First of all, I don't hang out with my neighbors. So just because you bought a house next to Snoop Dogg doesn't mean you're hanging out with them.
You do.
No,
I talk about the lawn.
I don't talk about the lawn. I get stranded while doing the lawn talking about the lawn.
Just like I have to talk about the 400 billion animals next door.
Well, if it was Snoop Dogg, wouldn't it be better?
Yeah, we could get high together.
Can't. It doesn't matter. Say whatever you want.
Latest headline also. Debt collectors can now DM you on social media. Fantastic.
Debt collectors can do what to social media?
They can DM you on social media now. So could you
Go
imagine
for it. I don't
posting
answer
a
those
picture
either.
I know, but could you imagine like posting a picture of Jordans and then right after be like, how would you pay your debt?
Comment below.
Do they roast you like Wendy's Twitter? Erie County Indoor Mask Mandate Group. That's my people I know personally. No means no. They went to. I don't quite know everything about them, but they were out there. They were on the news, and they, of course, they made them sound like they're crazy. Which is really a shame because you know, it's really the crazy ones that move some of this, man. Antonio Brown, we talked about him a couple times ago about possibly faking his vaccine card. He did.
He definitely did.
So do you remember when they were like, all these teams 100% vaccination. You should go get vaccinated. Well, they fucking lied.
Well, they didn't lie. They just didn't know the truth.
Yeah, and I'm sure the NFL was like, yeah, just here. The NFL probably gave them the fucking card.
Just take this so it looks like everybody's vaccinated.
I mean, come on. This guy's a freak athlete.
They don't need it.
Speaking of freak athlete, Dana White reveals he no longer has COVID, says, quote, thank you, Dr. Joe Rogan, unquote. Now, a couple takeaways, because I actually want to maybe spend a couple minutes on this. First of all, I've been listening to Rogan again. He's awesome. But for real, Joe Rogan is really smart. He's really good. He's obviously knows his craft.
Yeah, it's out of the bag. He can't play stupid anymore. You've said that before. Yeah,
and I think maybe that's why I'm like over being mad at him. So I was like, I know. Like, nah, I'm moving to Texas. And he's like, do you fucking believe California? It's so funny, dude. It's like, yeah, Joe, we told you. We were just, I guess we had to wait, until he couldn't do stand up there. So first of all, Joe Rogan's awesome to begin with. But Dana White saying that, I think, is a couple things. One, Joe Rogan is very bright, and he's not a doctor level, but the dude's talking to more doctors than most people do in their lives.
Than other doctors, quite frankly.
Probably. And he talks to, not only does he talk to doctors, he talks to, all types of doctors and scientists. And, I mean, look at his podcast list, right? Like, a couple of the doctor... He has one chick on. I only know her because she's hot, but I can't even remember her name.
Oh, this is going well.
Anyways, but she's super smart and everything else, and she's always told him. But I don't think Dana White is just I do think he is joking too, because we just throw around doctor nowadays, and we're supposed to listen to them, right? Dr. Fauci, particularly on this program this week, even.
Yeah, he sees a lot of patients.
Yeah, he's just gonna fly airplanes wherever the hell he wants because of Latin words and Roman numerals.
So reevaluate that. You lost it.
Yeah, my dad's got a hot neighbor. She got me distracted. This is straight misogyny. I'm off the rails. But no, I don't think Dana White is. I think he's actually kind of playing face here because Joe Rogan is smart, but I also think he is making fun of the doctor and the science narrative, and he's adding to it by saying, look, I don't even have COVID anymore. Joe Rogan said he did this, and this. He told Aaron Rodgers what to do. Aaron Rodgers like, yep, I'm fine. Yep, I'm fine. Dana
Not to
White,
mention
yep, I'm
his,
fine.
Studio producer and all these other people he's talked to. And
yeah, and he has 10 times the viewership as a mainstream media news outlet that just reported about fucking robots.
No, it's fine. He's got more credibility.
Yeah, not only does he have credibility, he's so real. Right? Because you believe it. I was listening to a podcast with him and Theo Vaughn, and Theo asked him, what product would you endorse? And Joe's like, the only thing I would do is hunting related because that's all I care about. I was like, man. Joe's obviously got FU money, so that helps. But for him to just be able to focus in on something, think about shooting broadheads on your bow and arrow for free for the rest of your life, and you make money on them. That's beyond winning. That's 5 times winning. 10 times winning.
Is he a bow guy?
Yeah, he's a big bow hunter. Yeah, I'm glad Dana White recovered. I didn't even know he had COVID, but it's just so cool. I also saw a video this week in Australia that there's literally people in like internment camps, like FEMA camps, that we've always joked about, always talked about.
No, we literally talked about it.
Yeah, literally. I know, but I seen a video this week of a woman getting lectured because she went to the fence. And she can't talk to other people without wearing a mask. And she didn't have a mask on. She's like 6 feet away. She said, you got to wear a mask.
Shoot me.
1984, people. Welcome to Fall of the West. Mysterious cube-shaped anomaly discovered on the moon's far side by Chinese rover. The rover will spend the next 2 or 3 months verifying it.
That's good. At least they're on the case.
Oh, I'm going to believe the fucking Chinese. Come on.
When have they ever steered you wrong?
They're literally waging genocide. That's why we're not going to Beijing. We're going to have diplomatic, domestic, whatever bull crap boycott. You boycott China, but we're buying all our crap there for Christmas this year. How does that make any sense? I miss when my president said that American globalism will not be our credo. I really miss that days. I really, really do miss it.
Yep.
It was like the second revival of America.
Yeah, keep missing it. It's here.
Speaking of that, Trump tried to open up his own social media thing. Apparently it opened with like, I don't know, some crazy amount of money. I want to say it's in the billions, but I don't want to misspeak. It valued at $875 million, so almost $1 billion. And
is it shut down already?
Yeah, it's being investigated by the SEC, which honestly I don't even know what the SEC is, but it's just bullshit. They're gonna do anything to stop it. It's weird that it's happening now while the election's turning up and Joe Biden's falling apart. Literally, it's like almost like Trump was trying to get ahead of the narrative and build up a social media platform before, I don't know, the metaverse was here. God forbid. Speaking of that, can you imagine trying to compete with the metaverse? Like,
we're doing it.
Yeah, let's give that guy all the government empowerment. Apparently, there was some kind of fake protest this week that a bunch of people dressed up all the same. They're carrying American flags, trying to cause havoc. I don't know anything about it, so if anybody knows anything, send me information. It's beautiful. All right, 2 things, and then I'll go to this entertainment. This headline makes sense, kind of, because I know a little bit about the stuff, but not altogether. But reading it is just confusing because it shows how fucked up our world is with government power. Omicron variant concerns drive mortgage rates higher, but still remain at record lows.
That literally doublespeak.
Why would a virus change mortgage rates? Does it attack houses?
Wait, hold on.
Attack banks?
We can get into this in a second, but can we talk about how that doesn't make sense?
Mortgage rates higher, but still, variant concerns drive mortgage rates higher, but still remain at record low.
It can't go higher and be at a low.
That's a Fox News article on top of it.
That's literal doublespeak.
I told you guys. How long have I been saying we're in 1984, David? For real.
Since I've known you.
Jesus Christ, man.
Go on with that. I just thought the headline was funny because that doesn't make sense. You can't drive something higher and be at a record low at the same time.
No, you're right, man. You're absolutely right. Namori Chrome. Yeah. Omnicron. But if you flip it around, right? I sent you this, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so shout out to Joe Nowicki. I love you, Joe. You're awesome, dude. Thanks for everything as always. But he sent me something it's super awesome, so I just want to share it because this is we always talk religion, history, politics with people, and this is kind of like the little bit of insight and conversations I have with people when I'm not on the podcast, because this is part of our lives, right, Dave? It's just like part of the way we get around. So it's kind of cool how you meet like-minded people and you guys like passions drive each other and you learn from each other. It's very awesome. So he said Omnicron spelled backwards is Nomoricom, Norcimo. And he defined it: perfection in all aspects, paragon, well-rounded, a way to appreciate someone while making it seem as though you are insulting them. Now, to go further, Joe Nowicki has said for years that the government likes to do the opposite of what they actually say. They'll talk backwards to you. which is literally fear of mortgage rates are driving the rates higher, even though they're record lows. Like we just literally spoke. That's so funny how it all comes together. But that's what he's talking about, and to like literally see it now. I thought it was super funny because I brought up to you, I think last week, Dave, about where did this name come from, and literally the next day, all over the news, where did the Omicron word come from? Should we be asking
Greek alphabet
before we name shit?
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
but they had other things, and it's just kind of cool to like kind of get ahead of it sometimes. But yeah, thanks, Joe. I appreciate your insight as always. But all right, my cybertainment this week. First of all, I don't know how I can't buy a car. I haven't tried, but people are having trouble getting new cars right now. But they can give out cell phones. It doesn't make sense to me. They have every phone you want there. As everybody knows, since the Matrix hates me, I always break all my phones. So I was operating on like a super green glitchy screen for like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. We saw it.
It officially broke. Yeah, but it got worse. Like I literally couldn't see it all. So I like literally couldn't even text anyone. I couldn't even like try to fake it off. I'm like, fuck. Gotta stop being cheap. So I go to U-Break I Fix where I got the phone fixed last time. And I thought I bought like some insurance, but apparently the insurance I bought is for my house. So I'm like, that's bad for home insurance for all my video game consoles that I don't use. Thanks. So that was my fault. So whatever. But I felt like their practices were a little predatory.
Okay.
To top it off. So I was like, all right, how much is it? The guy told me to put a mask on. And I told him, tell me if you can fix my phone before I worry about a fucking mask. And he wasn't happy with that. I wonder why. I hate it. I hate that we got to be like this. Also, speaking of that, my father and I ran into a guy who did not have a mask on at the store. And I was like, sir, it's nice to see your face. He said, you too, my friend. He came up, he shook my hand. He said, you got to fight and stand strong on this.
I just got
Where?
at a gas station I frequent all the time.
Did you put a mask on?
Hell no. And I told I would no longer be frequenting the gas station.
Welcome to America. Gotta pick your battles, man.
Is he going to Genesee County for his gas?
I gotta get. I like.
He doesn't have gas to get to Genesee County and get his gas. What are you talking about?
No, I gotta go to Niagara County all the time anyhow. I know gas stations where I can walk
Dude,
around there.
I will never forget the day my car was broke. I was a college student living in Ohio. I'm at my dad's trying to fix my car super late, right? Got to go to school by tomorrow and start Monday, right? Like, fuck, I got to get home. Dad's like, I'll drive you. I was like, what about getting back? He's like, I'll bring your brother with me. So I asked my dad. It's like, the sign before you get to the edge of New York that's like last exit before Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
It's like 30 miles. I was like, Dad, how much gas you got? It's like, we should make it to Pennsylvania. We ran out of gas. Apparently, you can't push cars on the thruway. That's highly frowned upon. Because we told the guy, we'll meet you at the toll booth, and they're like, no. You can't push cars on the thruway. So it was like a $50 gas can.
75.
Back to the moral of the story. How did I get this? See what I mean?
Just so everybody knows, I was in the car with both Ryan and his father all the way to Washington, D.C., all the way back. It was glorious.
Fantastic. This is my Joey Diaz. Like, that's what he reminds me of. Like, Joe Rogan's Joey Diaz, the craziest motherfucker I ever met in my life. I don't even know where I was in this whole... Oh!
Mask.
We talked about masks.
You saw his face.
So the guy told me $170, and I was like, I'll let you know. Verizon's right next door, so I walked over there. And I got a new iPhone because it was cheaper.
What?
Well, I have a phone payment, which I'm not happy about.
There you go. There's the truth. You tried pulling some media tactics.
Yeah, I did. See the slip of the hand. Yeah, it was just like, you know what? Whatever. I was so pissed off, like, between everything, getting ripped off the insurance because I'm an idiot and all the other stuff. It's just like, you know what? Fine. And then, of course, I can't have the phone without a case that day, so I got to buy that right away.
Yeah, good idea, since you like to break them.
I don't like to break them. The Matrix breaks them for me, Dave. It knows I'm here to destroy it. So, with that being said, fuck you, Break I Fix. Don't go there. Just buy a new phone like rich people.
That's
And tell Jeff Bezos he can keep his extra 5 cents. I have no idea what that means, but
I don't either. Why hasn't Amazon done a phone?
dude, can you imagine when they have intergalactic pedophile islands and I have to worry about getting raped in the metaverse?
The space ring. We talked about this.
It's fucking
real.
gonna be great.
It's already real.
All right, that wraps it up for me and David this week. Thank you everybody for tuning in. December 1773. Subscribe to our YouTube, Rumble, Facebook.
What's the Trump one? Freedom something.
Oh, the Trump one. The platform. Censored.com, bandnews.com, whatever Alex Rock now it is.
I want my t-shirt.
Yeah, you don't get a shirt. It's
Ryan's dad said he wants a shirt.
Tune in 7 Eastern. We drop normally on Mondays, but because Pennsylvania has a dated election system and electrical system, we are dropping probably, I guess, Tuesday, whatever today is when you see me. If you watch to the end, thank
Dropping
you.
the day that you watched it right now. You already know when it dropped, you're watching it.
If you made it to the end, thank you. I appreciate everybody for your support. David, I'll see you soon. Thank you. And yeah, go Bills.
Don't want to talk about it. Love it.